And of course, we know the former Vice President Atiku, P2B, Kwankwaso, and Mechi are all men with credible credentials and personal ambition.
Yeah.
Give us a picture of your dream tickets.
Of my
dream tickets.
Uncle Victor, let me say, I voted for Peter Obi in 2023. And I'm voting for Peter Obi in 2027. I am in the ADC. I support the opposition movement. Every person who is in the opposition is eminently qualified to be president. Everybody who is contesting. Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, Amechi. You know, Atiku Abubakar is somebody who, he was not vice president to a weak president. And the only position he has held in his entire political is vice president. But somehow has remained relevant years after leaving office, even more than some former presidents. There is something he knows about politics. Amechi, a former governor, to the best knowledge that I have, even a lot of Rivers people refer to him as one of the best governors that they have had. But I believe that there is a time and a season for every leadership. In 2015, I voted for Goodluck Jonathan. I would never vote for APC because I never trusted whatever change that they were bringing. I knew that with all his flaws, Jonathan was a better candidate. When people say he was weak, I believe that the weakness of a leader in a democracy is the strength of the people. A lot of reforms we are fighting to get under, we fought to get under a Buhari government, would have been easier to get under a Jonathan government. He had the more democratic disposition. How they sold the whatever lie and whatever that APC change brought, it was up to them. But I mean, with the years that have passed, my position have been proven to be right because the calamity that they brought was not better. In 2019, I voted for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Obi as his vice presidential ticket because I believe that, in all fairness, if a northerner was there and we needed that he is a failure, of course a northerner can become president and a person who has the capacity to do so. Would it have been fair if in 2019 we had a southerner come to shortchange Buhari? How would that have worked? In 2023, we expected that the PDP will zone their ticket to the south. They did whatever calisthenics they decided to do, and of course Obi had to be forced out of the party. I supported Obi and I voted for him. In 2027, we have a possibility of getting a ticket that is not only just going to be a political statement, it has the capacity to begin something that Nigerians may not have seen before. Uncle Victor, imagine an Obi Kwankwaso ticket. This is not just politics. This is a southerner, then a southeasterner running with somebody from the north. Not just based on their names, but based on their proven track records or being beholden to their people and their performance as leaders. Each former 8 years governor. That is why you see that that kind of ticket has the capacity to galvanize Nigerians and build organic support for itself. I'm not a part of people who come out to say, oh, they are bullying this. You cannot bully Atiku. He's a former vice president. He has fought wars and battles and has lasted. There is a lot that I admire in him as a person. But there is a kind of Atiku Abubakar has an opportunity to do something for Nigerians that will write his name in the hearts of Nigerians forever. It may not be always about getting power. It is about what you do for the people. The only title he will want to get is GCON, is GCFR. And that is why we will see that if a person like Atiku Abubakar looks at the entire structure and the environment and say, this is what the people want and I will make a sacrifice for them, he will be remembered better than whoever that even took a title of GCFR, because this is the risk. It is not about you snatching power and getting into office by all means. Take a look at the person who is there. Snatch it, grab it, run with it. It makes a mockery of yourself. You take power, you lose the people. Look at Buhari, former petroleum commissioner, former military head of state, former two-time civilian president. At the end, died in a private hospital in the UK, flown into the country as a cargo, buried, and look at the reaction. Everybody saw that it was a collective waste of our collective destiny. So yes, you were GCFR, but what were you to the people? Nothing. Because all that I remember under Buhari is a man, a calamity who destroyed my youth. Buhari came into government, I was barely 20 or 21. My entire young age was destroyed under bad governance, and multitudes of people like that, because we could have had better opportunities. So it is up to the leadership in the ADC to look and say, what exactly is the aspirations of the younger generation? What sacrifices can we make for this to move forward? And that is why if you look at all of these boxes, Atiku and Obi is a supporter of Atiku. Obi will not agree to be Atiku's vice if he does not believe in his capacity. Yes. So there is no fight between Atiku supporters and Obi supporters, because Obi supporters used to be Atiku supporters at some point. If we voted for you in 2019, the question is, in 2023, when a Northerner was living in Buhari, was it fair that another Northerner should succeed him? And if a Southerner is president today, and we believe that he's a calamity and he should leave, is it not fair that you get a Southerner to do what is done or needs to be done? And not just a Southerner you believed in so much that you made vice president. You both have mutual respect and admiration for yourself. You know that if Atiku or Obi had remained in PDP in 2023, nobody will be vice president to him than Obi. He believes in his capacity. So with this age and time, what can you do to help us? It is an appeal. It is an understanding. I do not want an Obi Kwankwaso ticket in isolation, no. I want an Obi Kwankwaso ticket supported by Atiku, supported by Amechi, worked for by the entire opposition, and voted for by the Nigerian people. That is my dream ticket. However the opposition wants to go, it is up to them. But they should remember that Nigeria should come before any personal interest.
Of course, finally, you've been calling on Nigerians to come out and vote massively in 2027.
Yes.
In 2023, Nigerians did come out and voted massively, and they felt betrayed. Their votes, they felt they were robbed. Now, how will a youth who voted in 2023, who felt he was robbed, be willing to come out in 2027 to vote again?
Uncle Victor, have you traveled from Abuja to Lagos before?
Why not?
Have you ever heard that some people travel from Abuja to Lagos and had accident?
Sure.
If you want to go to Lagos, will you still need to leave Abuja?
Why not?
Once you are a human being, once you lose hope, you begin to die. Once you give up on yourself, you have surrendered. You have no longer become a captive. You are an accomplice to your slavery. Whether or not you pay attention to government or you become discouraged, you can still be a victim of a system you chose to ignore. Everything you see happening in Nigeria today is deliberately orchestrated to discourage you. You know why? When you are discouraged and you decide to turn an eye against the system, the better for the criminals there. They have a field day. The fewer people who come out to vote, the easier it is for you to rig election, for you to buy votes. There is a number of Nigerians who will come out to vote on election day. There is no number of INEC staff who have the capacity to rig such an election because the people will insist. But when people begin to show some level of disenfranchisement, no, it is bad. You have given up. But in that you're giving up, what is your other option? Have you seen a video of the woman who was crying that the sister was killed in Asokoro Hospital in Abuja? Do you know that in Abuja today there are still classes around the FCT, public schools, where children still sit on the floor in 2026? So what are you ready to pay in deciding to be discouraged? Probably maybe your life, God forbid. So no matter how much they try to discourage you, we must encourage ourselves to know that our lives depend on the actions of the persons in power. That whatever that we do, if we do not fix governance and leadership, everybody is a potential victim. I always say today's victims were yesterday's survivors. Tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors. The dead can no longer die. The next set of people who Nigeria will happen to is those of us who are alive. God forbid. I'm not better than people who have been killed in Benue and Plateau. There is a reason why we are still alive. So do we want to keep quiet, do nothing, so that evil people continue to lord over us? It is up to us. So refuse to be discouraged. All you are seeing, this calisthenics of signing electoral act in 2026, going to court, it is not happening by chance. It is a deliberate orchestration. What the APC does is to use confusion as a tool for manipulation. So when there is a lot of chaos, people become tired of what exactly should we focus on. Should we go to court? Should we go to INEC to protest? Should Lamopiton resign? Should we go to get Akpabio to re-enact the electoral act? It is a lot, but stay focused. If the people stay united and mobilized, you can liberate yourself. Tinubu and the APC gang of political and electoral bandits and this kind of motopark politics will end once a majority say enough. The question is, do you want to be part of that enough?